You're listening to Hex, The Fall of Aethria, a Galleria Editagio production. Our story continues with Chapter 5. The afternoon sun hangs heavy over the Moorian camp, casting long amber shadows across the gathering circle. A chorus of weeping rises from the women as they huddle together, their grief raw and communal. Janaiah stands at the center of the ring. She remains still, her expression a mask of solemn duty as she looks at her peers. Layla stands at her sister's shoulder, her body tense with a different kind of energy. "What will we do now, Janaiah?" one woman asks, her voice trembling. "With your father and brother gone, the natural order shines on you." All eyes turn to Janaiah. The silence stretches, heavy with the expectation of leadership. Janaiah takes a breath, her gaze steady. "Beginning tonight, Nightfall Vigil will be replaced by Tishmai," she declares. A ripple of somber agreement passes through the group. The women and girls begin to nod, their postures sagging with the weight of tradition as they start to disperse. Layla, however, looks around in disbelief. Tishmai is the ancient Moorian practice of coordinated communal prayer over a specific concern for 3 daybreaks and 3 nightfalls before taking an action. This was typically reserved for grave matters of concern, and while the seizure of all the men and boys was indeed grave, they certainly could not wait 3 days just to possibly receive an answer from the Goddess of Light. "We are not going to go after them," Layla's voice cuts through the quiet. All movement stops. Every woman pauses, staring at her. Janaiah's head snaps toward her sister, her eyes flashing a sharp, silent warning. But Layla presses on. "Imaskusa, sister. But why wouldn't we act now, while there's still a small distance between us and the soldiers?" Layla demands. "Tishmai takes 3 full days. We could set them free and be headed east in that amount of time." "We cannot act without a clear sign from New Lumida," Janaiah says firmly. "Besides, it is not our way to incite violence." "We are not the ones who incited violence," Layla counters. "The Mija did that when they took our father. We don't even have to fight them. If we wait until after nightfall, we can set out, free the men, and be gone before anyone realizes." "And break sacred law in the process." Layla's face goes flat, her voice dripping with dry irony. "You are right, Janaiah. We should just sit back and do Tishmai, and then spend the next 2 or 3 moons that we could have spent migrating to the Emberlands, where we're not even allowed, to appeal to the Imperial Court. The same court that approved the Emperor's anti-nomad laws after the fall. We can explain to them why they should let Father and Riemi and all our loved ones go free, because the Emberlands have always proven to be our friends." "Mind your tone, little sister," Janaiah says, her voice turning cold. Layla takes a sharp breath, forcing herself to calm down. She bristles under the disapproving looks of the other women. They are correct. As the only other direct descendant of Mora's 4 sons, the final say is Janaiah's to give. Public speaking against that is a great disrespect. Her voice softens, but her urgency remains clear. "I am right. You know I am right. The Emberish will not receive our appeal." Layla speaks to the circle at large now, the logic of her own words fueling her. "Think about it. Throughout this summer, Moorian families have gone missing, entire camps disappearing without a trace. I think it's the Mija. I think they have been collecting all the men and boys, knowing it leaves us vulnerable. They're leaving us with no choice but to travel south, where the last of us will be apprehended under Imperial law." "But why?" "I am not sure. But do you have a better explanation?" Layla gestures toward the surrounding forest. "The Godswood was previously free to all. The 6 once walked these very paths. They built the sacred city here. Now it's gone. The kingdoms are divided. It does not surprise me in the least that the Emberish have chosen to seize this opportunity." The whispers among the women shift. The sound of weeping is replaced by the low hum of introspection. "If you are correct, and that's if," Janaiah says. Then, The men are as good as lost, no matter our efforts.
Not if we act quickly,
Layla insists.
My plan can work, I know it.
A young Moorian girl steps up from the crowd, her eyes wide with fear.
But to act by night is to betray the light. What will be the point in this rescue mission if it only brings the night's doom on all of us?
If we do nothing, Layla asks, who is to say they live to see the sun? Yanara reaches out and places a hand on Layla's shoulder, her expression softening into pity. Lovebug, I know you desperately want to save Father and Riemi, but if what you say is true, then they made a sacrifice for our freedom. We cannot risk that sacrifice being in vain.
But they shouldn't have to sacrifice,
Layla cries.
I cannot believe you would so easily seal their fates. You are supposed to be our leader.
Do not step beyond your station, Layla, an older woman snaps. The natural order did not select you. Besides, we all know the only reason we were found is because of your antics. A chant of agreement rises from the group. Glares quickly deepen into scowls. Shame burns within Layla's chest. Yanara raises her hand, demanding silence. Let me be clear. We were found because of the Emperor's vendetta against our people and our way of life, not Layla's affliction. No matter how any of us feel about the present circumstances, this decision is not for any of us to make. And with no one to serve as Moor as I, sacred law is the only governance we have. The women respond in unison, their voices a melodic drone. Ricate quinta vendalumine eterniane lumira. Together they draw the sign of the 6-point star over their hearts. Layla and Yanara follow suit, though Layla's movement is stiff. Sacred law is the only governance we have, Yanara repeats. We must hold to it now if we are to survive. Her voice breaks for a moment. It is what Father would want.
But this is beyond sacred law,
Layla pleads.
They took our fathers, our brothers, our sons. I will not allow the Empress to erase us, and neither should the rest of you.
Dasikya, Layla, Yanara shouts, tears finally welling in her eyes. Enough! My mind is made. Let us prepare our things for the journey ahead. At nightfall, we will begin Tishmai, and then set off east at daybreak as planned. It's what Father would do.
But Yanara...
Sister, Yanara says, her voice final. Let me remind you. The sun turns from those who wander into night. She places a hand on Layla's shoulder, a gesture of sisterly reassurance. Layla pulls away, shrugging the hand off. She looks defiantly at her sister. She will not back down this time. She will not acquiesce. In a low, eerily calm voice, she whispers, "The sun cannot turn from whom she does not claim." We have reached our conclusion for today's chapter, but our story is far from over. If you have enjoyed your time in the realm, be sure to subscribe so that you never miss your summons when a new chapter arrives. For those who would look beyond the next horizon, the tale continues on Substack. The chapters yet to be recorded are already waiting there, should you wish to journey ahead. It is our hope to spread this tale to travelers far and wide, so if you know someone who might enjoy the journey, we invite you to bring them along. And until next time, remember, some laws are meant to be broken.